My name is Craig Watkins. I am the Dallas County District Attorney, and I want to welcome you to something that we're going to start new here at the DA's office. We want to explain to the citizens of Dallas County and the general public issues that we deal with on a daily basis. And so this is the first of several video casts that we're going to present on our Facebook page as well as in emails. And so the issue that we're faced with going forward happens to deal with laws and legislation. Here at the District Attorney's Office, over the last 4 years, we've been in a position to exonerate individuals for crimes they didn't commit. As a result of those exonerations, we've seen some flaws within our criminal justice system, and we want to make those flaws go away. So we're going to ask our lawmakers in Austin to change some laws. So specifically, what I want to talk about are those laws that we'll be focusing on in the legislative session on January 11th. We're going to talk about DNA. Over the last 4 years, I believe it's become abundantly clear that DNA is a very important tool that we can use in our criminal justice process. Thus far, unfortunately, we've seen DNA exonerate men to this point in Dallas County, 25, for crimes they didn't commit. In our latest exoneration, Cornelius Dupree spent 30 years of his life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And even worse than that, the individual that committed the crime 30 years ago was never arrested. So we're going to ask our lawmakers to make DNA a requirement of all arrest. You all remember, and you've seen in TV shows, when a person's booked in jail, they take a fingerprint. Well, fingerprints are outdated. It's time for us to upgrade our ability to identify an individual. And so we're going to ask that upon any arrest in the state of Texas that your DNA be taken. Now, I don't want to scare you. A lot of folks think DNA is about taking blood. It's not. All it requires is for a police officer to swab the inside of your mouth and put it in a test tube. And that test tube could be tested at a later date to determine if you committed other crimes. And that's just good law enforcement. It gives us the ability to have proper identification of individuals who commit crimes, and for those who didn't commit crimes, it gives us the tool to make sure that we can go and have those individuals exonerated and find the individual that actually committed the crime. Another issue that we've been dealing with here recently, again it goes back to exoneration, is the fact that on every exoneration, or just about every one we've had, eyewitness identification has been flawed. Just about every one of the individuals that have been exonerated out of Dallas County were identified by the victim or the witness, and those identifications were wrong. So we're going to advocate for changes in the policies and procedures that police departments and investigative agencies use throughout the state of Texas, which will allow us not to make those mistakes going forward. You know, we want to get the right person that commits a crime, and again, if we don't, the real perpetrator, when we arrest the wrong person, is out there committing more crimes. We also want to talk about issues of making sure that prosecutors in our state are fairly compensated. You know, this is government work. And the individuals that come and make a commitment to work for us, to work for the government, they take a substantial cut in pay. And so I think it's only fair that if they devote at least 5 years of their career to any district attorney's office throughout the state of Texas, that they be given the opportunity to have their loans, their student loans, forgiven. You know, student loans in college is very expensive, and especially if you go further. And so when you couple that with the low salaries that prosecutors make, as it is now, and they make a commitment to work sometimes 80 hours per week, at least we can do as citizens of this state is to compensate them in the form of making sure that if they take on this responsibility, this high responsibility, that we give them the opportunity to have their student loans forgiven. You know, another issue that we've dealt with here recently is our confessions. You know, we have the technology today. Years ago we didn't. We have the technology today where when a person is arrested and they choose to make a confession, we can actually have that confession recorded. And so when we go to court, we can have a person on videotape or CD or even with your iPhone recorded confessing to the crime. So they don't have the ability to come back and say, no, I never said that, I never did that. It should be recorded. So we're going to ask our lawmakers to put a law in place to say that all confessions, all interrogations should be recorded, so it won't be an issue as to whether or not a person chose to incriminate themselves. And I think that's just fair, and that's just progress for our criminal justice system. This is the first of many opportunities that I will take to discuss with you, the citizens of Dallas County, of this state, and of this country, of how we can improve the criminal justice system. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time out to come and view our Facebook page. Thank you for receiving our email. This is an opportunity for us to move forward in something that is so important to this country. Criminal justice. This system is important to us to make sure that we protect the victims and convict the truly guilty, and make sure that our Constitution is put in place and it's advocated for. I'm Craig Watkins again, the Dallas County District Attorney, and we will keep moving